Now is a time on the planet where we are undergoing so much transition, so much reconstruction within our cellular beings, within our DNA. And this is being reconstructed in our physical world as well, as we are breaking down and rearranging, and our DNA is becoming crystalline. Guess what? Our world is rearranging too. And these energies are really ramping up right now. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for this healing time for all of us. Welcome to Akashic Answers with Emily. I say it and I just light up. My name is Emily Harrison, and I am the founder and director here inside the Akashic Academy. The reason you see me light up when I say the word Akashic, Akashic Records, Akashic Answers, because this has truly been a transformative experience for me. Just my story in a nutshell, if this is the first time you're here, while I feel like I came into this planet with a very high level of consciousness, which I'm looking forward to expanding even more, when I incarnated into like the physical vessel, the baby that I was, I didn't come here with a bunch of psychic powers and abilities. I wasn't talking to dead people. I wasn't doing all of that. These are like limbs of our body. These are muscles that we have within our consciousness, within our light body, that I learned to have an awareness of, and I learned how to build. And every single human being has the capacity to learn how to turn on your psychic senses, how to receive messages from your spirit guides. We are not alone on the planet. Can I get an amen up in here? I should say in the universe, right? But we definitely have a lot of access to extraterrestrial help, extra dimensional help. And many of us have had encounters with our spirit guides, with intuition, with hearing the voices, with getting the guidance, with having the aha moments. But when we learn to turn on this process, you can string together a whole damn life of them. And life becomes very, very fun and dynamic from this perspective. The records have allowed me the ability to see myself, because every detail of every single person's lives, forward and backward through time, including past and future lives, all of this information has been stored within the within the Akashic record. And when we go in and examine this information, I promise you, I know you think you lived through it. You're like, why do I need to read about my own experiences? I lived damn through them. When you go back and experience them with this higher level of perspective, unconditional love and zero judgment, your perspective shift, enlightenment happens. How you understand how you're showing up and participating in the world changes. And you begin to develop strength and understanding and skills on how to create from this point forward with whatever ancient knowledge that you are carrying into this planet with you. We need all of it. We need the intuitive card readers and the Reiki masters and the yoga instructors and the Akashic record readers and the quantum theta healers. We need all of us bringing in the basis of this knowledge, but allowing ourselves to experiment with it in the real day-to-day moments of our life, which actually, while it's very fun to be epically manifesting these amazing experiences in our life, it comes down to the microcosm. Can you manifest an epic experience of being in awe and being in love with yourself in this moment, even if it's raw right now? That's what true self-actualization and self-realization is, and it will open up a completely new world for you. I am so excited to allow you guys to experience along with me what I've learned to grow and expand within myself. And I want to hold that space that every single person who is here today receives expansion in your intuitive growth, in your own ability to get messages, to get higher levels of creativity and inspiration. This is what life is all about. And it's about creating that space together. I'm going to invite you guys to share this out. I'm going to do a little sharing quickly here myself. Please say hello once you get here. Let us know where you're from. Everybody, please and thank you for taking a moment to share this out. Spreading the message. Spreading the message. There's a reason why I don't go back and watch my replays, just so you know. While I think it's really good to go back and watch yourself, I might not be near as damn silly if I went back and watched myself. Welcome, Ashley Marie. First thing I popped in here was practicing Qigong for the first time today after my yoga practice. Is amazing. Woo! Qigong is a powerhouse of a spiritual technology that will open you up. I've had personal extreme impact from it. I did Qigong today too, by the way. Definitely recommend Qigong. And we have some awesome Qigong masters. I don't think they call themselves masters. I think only I call them masters. But here, right here on our network, we have Sifu Bogi and we have Kira Lani. You guys got to check them out. Check them out and play along. Missouri in the house, Wisconsin in the house, up in here, Texas. Oh, you know what would be really good? If I got sharp enough to do accents from where all y'all were from. I don't think I can challenge myself quite that much. Ben in the house. Welcome, Ben. Tom in the house, too. Eddie. Woo. Jennifer Green. Kelly Klein. Ohio. Terry in the house. Illinois. That's my Illinois, Missouri. I grew up right on the Mississippi River. So as soon as you crossed the river, you were in, was it Pleasant Hill that was right there over the river? There might have been a boy that I snuck over the river to see in Pleasant Hill once or twice. I don't know. I'm just saying. Oh man, I inhaled that. Did you guys hear that? Whew. All right. So let's dive into the fun stuff. Akashic record readings. Let me give you guys just a little bit of instruction on how to phrase your questions to get the most powerful answers. The Akashic records, while there are many, many applications, when we're going in and asking questions, we want to ask questions that take full responsibility for whatever it is that we're experiencing. So it doesn't really behoove us to go in and ask why so-and-so is such a bitch. Why my neighbor's such a bitch. My neighbor actually isn't. I always get good neighbors. But you want to take personal responsibility. How am I showing up that I need to understand that's continually creating a situation of oppression for me? Right? Also, yes or no questions, they're not the best because this really gives us the opportunity to dive in. And the records give us what we're ready to receive, which is why how you ask the question is so important. Okay, because how much you can receive is naturally built into your question. All right, time questions also very different within the space of the records. They don't go in linear time like 6 months, 2 months, 4 days. Every now and then they do. As soon as I say they don't, they'll give me a time frame like that. Generally, when you ask time questions, the energy is going to come through, or the answer is going to come through as more like gateways of progression, like these, or alignments. These things need to be in alignment. All right. With that, let's rock and roll. Start firing out your questions. I'm going to allow Spirit to bring my awareness to just what is going to be the perfect question. I want to invite you, if the answer resonates with you, but it's not necessarily your question, the answer is for you, the message is for you anyway. If you will get soft and allow yourself to receive, especially if you disagree with me, if like resistance comes up in you, and I'm not saying that I'm right, I'm saying if the resistance comes up instantly, that's telling you your problem with this issue is resistance. And if you can just relax and listen and receive it, you're going to get a healing just from that. I'm serious. Even if you don't agree with me or take my damn advice. I'm not really giving any advice. I'm just sharing what's coming through. But see, that in and of itself, how you allow yourself to come into contact with a new idea shifts you in and of itself. So I invite everybody, just recognize that just hearing and receiving this, regardless of if you agree or disagree, is going to create room for expansion for you. We're also going to do healing transmissions that I will bring through that will be a shifter, designed to be a shifter and an unfolding and an opening of new energy for you in this area. Everyone is allowed to receive every single healing that comes through. And hello, Caprina. I just looked down and I saw your name. All right. I'm now going to dive in and go get in questions. So feel free, guys, start typing in your questions. I'm actually going to look on my phone because it's a little easier than squinting into my monitor. I had this all geared up and ready, but then when I shared out, I clicked out of it. So forgive me while I pop back in here. All right. Well, it's on a delay. Okay, I'm going to scroll back through. Oh God, I'm sucking today getting into the damn questions and answers. Sorry, thanks guys for hanging in. Okay. Sarah Bindell, how do I stop worrying about money and just live my purpose I know I am supposed to live? This is beautiful. It's a choice. And oh man, I just remembered, because sometimes I get on my soapbox and I just start channeling whatever comes through. Well, channeling might be a nice euphemism for it. Sometimes I just get a little loose and I need to stay more on focus. Sarah, but I'm so glad that you brought this forward, because what I was just teaching about in our intuitive development class, which is for members of the Akashic Academy, was the importance of falling in love with every moment of your life right now. And what I wanted to share is that love is a choice that we make. A lot of times we think of love as a feeling, but it's not. It's a choice. Confidence is similar. A lot of people think of confidence as a feeling that you have, or maybe an attribute or a characteristic. Bullshit. Confidence is a habit. It is a habit that comes from doing something 10,000 times. Okay? Love, I promise you, is a choice. It is not a feeling that washes over you and you're like, ah. That's a different thing. Love is a choice. And what really shifted me in my life was when I began to realize how many things really are my choice, including worrying about money. That's a choice that you're making. And many times we make this choice because this has been ingrained in us to make this choice, because you got to be responsible and you got to pay your bills. Okay, Sarah, let me just tell you, the whole construct that making money and paying your bills is built on is a farce. Okay? Nikolai Tesla understood, brought through knowledge and information that we're not using, and here's the truth, energy is free. And our entire society construct, the entire economic structure of money, all of it is built on the fact that we're paying for energy. And Dr. Stephen Greer explains this way the heck better than I'm going to explain it to you, but I'm going to invite you guys to watch a Netflix documentary called Unacknowledged. It starts by talking about a lot of UFO phenomenon, and it talks about why is this energy suppressed, or this knowledge suppressed? So fine, they're extraterrestrials coming, the government's not talking. Why isn't the government talking about it? Well, because there is a huge false matrix construct that we have all built into and played into, but doesn't have to happen this way. So you just have to make the choice, really, truly, to disengage. Sorry, I got a little something blinking in my eye here. Oh. Doggone. Sorry, I gotta brush a little bit. Yeah, welcome, nice, all you guys who are just joining on and seeing me. Cried out. I'm not really crying. I don't know, something just dropped into my eye there. So for anybody who is working to create more financial flow, there are a couple things that we have to realize. One, worrying is a choice that you have. You will free yourself in a lot more ways. You'll create a pattern for yourself to choose your own sovereignty. It's just, there's never a high vibe justification for worry, by the way. Just that easy. So you got to make sure that when the worry is coming up, you recognize, okay, no. Plus, when you worry, you're feeding this old construct that isn't even true. Let me tell you what shift happened in 2012, everybody. Money stopped following this construct over here. Yes, there's still energy that's like, this is still detangling and breaking down, but higher level consciousness came in. Money is following consciousness. Money's following enlightenment. Money is following information, the value of information. It's not valuing the material world like it used to. We're shifting values to valuing information and experience and our own advancement, our own enlightenment. So recognize when this stuff comes up for you and you guys start getting tight in an area, this is your opportunity to shift it and to change it in a way that's been easier than before, because this construct before is difficult, where you have to decide what you're going to go do, give 8 hours of your day or more to, so that you can get a paycheck to pay to keep all the things that are, this shit is free. And I know some of you guys are thinking that, oh, well, you're combating it. Watch the documentary, because I'm taking it down to its most basic essence components of what our society is built on. Please watch this. It is a huge eye-opener. All right, anybody who would like to stop worrying about money, let's bring in an activation that helps us realize when that worry comes up. One, it's an opportunity to simply shift old patterns by declaring how you're going to feel. You don't, Sarah, here's what's coming up. Don't shift so much. Like, our tendency is to, once we start to feel the constriction, try to start affirming all, like, just we like the specific amount of money and this and that. And if there is any part of your subconscious mind that feels like you can't really do that, I call it the bullshit indicator. You can't trick your bullshit indicator. So you can be saying all of these affirmations, but not necessarily believing them. And so we're like starting to figure out how this is working, but we haven't got it perfect yet. Really, all you have to do is be willing to say, I'm going to choose to live in ease about this. That's really the pattern that they want to shift for you. Not whether or not you can create abundance, or not whether or not you can manifest something different in your life. Because you can. That's very easy to do. What's not always easy to do is see where we're making things more difficult than we have to. I want you, and Sarah, everybody, we're going to practice using our breath to bring in ease and flow with our finances. What happens with your breath? Your breath has an ebb and flow to it. It has an expansion. It has a contraction. Don't let your shit get all scared and tight. If you notice the ebb and flow coming in, that's part of energy. We're still going to experience that, but how we decide we're going to feel about that, or how we're going to approach this is what they really want to shift for you, is allowing yourself to bring more ease, make it easier than it's been before. Because when you get really, okay, I got this box, I got to shift it. And then you take that energy and you're like, I now earn $75,000 every week. You're still taking all that damn tight energy and you're just moving it over here. You just got to, okay? Anybody who wants to bring more flow and ease into your finances, please type yes to receive this. All right, and we're going to do some breathing, some synchronized breathing here. You guys know I love synchronized breathing. Bring the intention that you are breathing right now with the natural flow of the universe. Recognizing that all is available to you here in abundance with the breath. So the breath, as the breath abundantly flows into your body, recognizing this is a template. If you want to call more money into your life, take a nice deep breath in with the intention of calling in the resources that are available to you. Okay? We're going to take 7 nice deep breaths together. Everybody, nice deep breath in. And exhaling. This is resetting your energy field, your emotional field, your mental field, your light field. Deep breath in. Allow the breath to physically reset the physical body as well. Like, meaning, I could have said that more simply. I could have said it easier. Let yourself relax. Feel a physical relaxation in the body. Doesn't mean slump over. Keep yourself upright, but physically relax. Allowing the breath to usher that into the body. One more nice deep breath. If you want to not worry about finances, you got to not worry about your finances, okay? You have to create the permission for yourself, even if they are in sorry-ass shape, you guys. You got to create the permission for yourself not to stress and worry about that. Okay? Not to say that we just sit around and wait for things to happen, but we adjust our perspective of how we're approaching it. Caprina says, I utilize times like these as a lesson to improve my reaction to such experiences. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that you do that. And thank you for holding the space for all of us to do it too. So many yeses. I love this because as we collectively allow ourselves to receive more, we just empower each other to do that. You know, the faster we all do it together, the better off we are. The name of the documentary again, please, Unacknowledged. Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer on Netflix. Michelle says she just tried to tell her husband that we shouldn't be worrying about money, and he went on an angry rant. Yes, well, that's reflecting how constricted he feels around the money right now. There's really beautiful ways, Michelle, and I'm really glad that you brought this up. Coach Nick and I on the Akashic show last Friday talked about well, I didn't talk about it very much. I made Coach Nick talk about it, transmuting sexual energy. And we decided that, I mean, it's such a powerful topic. Coach Nick talked about how you can use, well, you just have to go back and watch the show. He talked about using self-stimulation to transmute sexual energy. Now, I've been working with the healing energy of that intimate union between a man and a woman. Or it doesn't have to be between a man and a woman. It just is in my house. Just saying, y'all do it however you want to do it. I ain't got no issue with that. But for me, I have a husband, so that's how we do it. And there's been a huge amount of growth in the recognition of how the energies are flowing and transitioning between us. And how when I bring awareness to it, I can actually help assist his healing in a more dynamic way. So I'm really excited to be bringing that to February. By the way, inside the Akashic Academy is Love, Sex, Relationship Month. Now, when I say inside the Akashic Academy, I don't mean here on our public page, everybody. We have a private membership group where we bring 10 exclusive new workshops every single month. Lightworker training, like the latest cutting edge knowledge and training and expansion that I know of is what we're bringing for. Everybody's calling me right now. Nick's calling me on the other line. My mother-in-law is calling me. Nick, I'm on the air, dude. And I forgot what I was saying. Doggone. Oh, yes. This is not the membership group, by the way. The membership group is a private paid membership group. It is $44.44 a month. And you get access to a ridiculous amount of amazingness, not only in terms of workshops and by workshop, I mean, we're training and we're doing processes right there. It's not like you're sitting taking notes. We are doing it in real time to facilitate this expansion and growth for our light workers. Okay, and inside intuitive development and mindful living, next month it's going to be all about this, and I'm going to elaborate more on that, Michelle. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Okay, questions, everybody. Questions. Roll them in. Okay, awesome. Karith, is it normal to speak to an alien alien language during lucid dreams? Let's call it normal, shall we? High five. I've had that experience before. I think it will become very normal as we wake up our senses. And I think that it might not be normal for everybody, but Karith, I'll give you a fist bump again. I was sitting here in my office one time, and it was kind of a lucid dream because I was kind of like in an astral travel state, and then beings came in that began to speak to me, but wanted me to speak what I was hearing, to speak their language, because by doing that, it would activate my understanding and knowing. And it was interesting because it wasn't like I felt a big presence in the room, or I knew they were coming in, or I called them. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I feel compelled to speak this. And so because of my Akashic record connection and background, I started diving in and being like, then I started asking questions. Who's here? What do you want to do? But I followed that intuition to speak it. And I'll tell you, it was not very pretty and French and beautiful. This is very Chinese barking sounding. but it did activate my ability to start speaking light language. So I say, yes, let's all hold space that this is normal, that this level of communication doesn't always have to look like the language that you speak. Furthermore, I'd like to invite you all to look at telepathy as a language. Telepathy is just the it's much faster too than trying to think of the right words to say. I'm gonna do my next show telepathic. How about that? All right, anybody who would like to more dynamically activate their telepathy, let's bring through an activation right now for that. Again, telepathy is going to require you to be very open with your imagination. It's basically allowing your imagination to be like illuminate your consciousness on the imagination so you can see what's going on in the imagination. And then you're going to begin to notice some things are visual, some things are audio, some things you just feel, some things you know. But this is the process of this kind of intuitive communication. It happens through your imagination. When you set an intention to make a connection with somebody, that connection it's established. Just trust that it's established. That's the way energy works, okay? It follows your intention. And then you just have to learn to observe the imagination of what's coming back and forth, and you have to be willing to play. So anybody who would like an enhancement, if you feel like you're a little stiff, a little rigid, you don't like to play, I got shit to do, I cannot play. If that's you, receive this energy. Let's re-inspire some of that. If you'd like to receive an increase in your telepathy, your telepathic skills, yes, I'm making words up. Yes, that's what I do. Type yes. Sending this through right now, just receiving it in the third eye. Notice any sensations that you're feeling inside of your body. You notice if you're not feeling anything. You don't have to be feeling anything to be receiving, by the way. You will begin to feel more dynamically. Just focus your awareness and create that space. Good job. So be it and so it is. All right, let's see if we can race through one more. While I'm scrolling through here, I'll go ahead and give Miss Robin McClendon her plug. She is coming up next. Conversations with Gaia, and then speaking of Qigong, our day continues with Sifu Paul, and check out Kira's replay. She just did a new show yesterday. Good, all you receivers. Thank you for receiving in this space. All right, I'm going to try to scroll through and grab one more question. Oh, here we go. Jennifer Allen, can you tell me if I'm a starseed and where I'm from? Awesome. Let's finish up with this. Yes, we're all starseeds. Actually, the DNA, the way our DNA, like when you examine the DNA, it's not terrestrial. It's all extraterrestrial. This is how the process began to wake up in me. I first had a connection with Pleiadian energy, and then I began to develop connections with other different star systems and recognizing when I had incarnated in those different aspects of time and space in the galaxy, and gaining the knowledge that I need and the experience that I needed from those different sectors for my process and how I'm showing up as a human, as an earthling right now. So in terms of where we came from, I think we all came from Galactic Center, pardon my French. And we've all had this a similar experience to the reincarnation that we have here on the planet. And maybe you're wondering, what gets me stuck in here? That's a show for another day. But I feel like we've gone through many, many, many of them. Okay, I'm having a tonality come in right now here for you, Jennifer. They're saying to start to explore with the Pleiadian energy. Jennifer, if you'll send me a private message and remind me, I'll send you a rockin' video. A rockin' video. You may have seen it before, about a Pleiadian awakening. Then continue to explore the okay, yeah, I have some stuff that's going to help you out, and begin to recognize how, when you're learning about a particular species, how that reminds you of you. Okay, and then you can begin to call in assistance with all of these different tributaries. I don't know why that word came in. That's just what I heard. But all of that energy is available to you. Okay. Anybody who wants to receive, oh, and this is really important too. Oh shit, I gotta run fast. disclosure, and I'm not talking about the government disclosing, I'm talking about the fact that we're seeking this knowledge and this connection from our ancestry. There's been a big shift in the energy of how much physical and visceral contact we will be having with extraterrestrials. So I'll invite each of you guys, don't be scared about that. Ask them to come into your world slowly, because they are. And perhaps, Jennifer, just you asking this, they're coming in slowly by coming into your awareness first. Okay, anybody who wants to build more dynamic connections with their starseed brothers and sisters, receiving this now, type yes. Make sure that you stay tuned, everybody, to the Akashic Academy Network, not only the rest of today, but for the rest of the week. So be it and so it is. This is only the tip of the iceberg of the work that we can accomplish within the Akashic Records. When you decide to book a private session, first of all, I'll tell you the session starts the moment you decide to book the session. The areas where you need expansion in your life start right there at that moment, because you are telling the universe you are seeking that. And inside session work, the process becomes very individualized for not only illuminating understanding and bringing in insight, but shifting and healing in whatever way is meaningful and important and impactful for you. All of this is very customized for you within the space of your Akashic Records when you reach out and book a private session. So I'm going to leave links for you guys. I'm going to leave the link to our Akashic Academy website. Visit the menu bar. You can find out more information about private sessions. You can find out more information about becoming a member. You want to be sure that you don't miss Love, Sex, Relationship Month. Don't miss it. You can sign up to become a member of the Academy there, and you can also learn more about how you read your Akashic Records. Remember, I said this is a skill. This is a waking up process of learning about what your body can do and how you can make it very sharp to change your life, to rip open the fabric of space-time and recreate yourself in the way that you are seen and reflected within the space of the records. Namaste, everybody.